We do have 4 other people joining us, so I will let you take.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here for this, I was going to say episode. It's not quite the right word. This meeting of the Tarrant County Food Policy Council. I'm Susie Marshall. I am the chair right now. And if everyone would just take a moment to pop your name and your organization into the chat so we can see who all is joining us and maybe find some ways to connect on our work. If you have any questions or comments throughout the meeting today, you can pop those in the chat. One of us will be monitoring those and we will make sure they get answered or shared. For today, we have some officer reports and we have a presentation from Kendra Richardson at Funky Town Fridge. And then we have working group updates and some other things to share with you. So we're going to go ahead and get right in. Oh, there'll also be a chance at the end of the meeting to share other updates or things that are going on your end as well. So we're going to start with officer reports. I guess I will go first. And I just want to say, I think that we have come to a time in the local food work that is really pretty exciting. There seems to be a bigger critical mass of interest and things happening and goodness coming along that is pretty exciting. And it's really makes me excited to see the connections that are happening and the opportunities. So thanks for being a part of that. And we hope you will continue, especially those of us that aren't always involved in the board or a working group who might be joining us today, that you'll get involved, get more involved, or continue to stay connected and involved. Becca?
Awesome. So I don't have any Food Policy Council business to share, but I will put in the chat a reminder about the Farmers Market Nutrition Program. That if you go to one of our markets, you may see Susie's lovely face or Charlie's lovely face or Brenda's lovely face. These are neighborhood farmers markets that will be popping up around Tarrant County and different areas, as well as we will come and join the Cowtown Farmers Market at their regular location on Wednesday and Saturdays. These markets have the opportunity for the WIC participants to use their summer vouchers to purchase produce, and all other forms of payment are accepted as well. So that link is in the chat, and then I will save my other update for the CGOA meeting recap.
Great.
Including SNAP and double up food bucks at Cowtown Farmers.
Yes, it's very exciting to have all of those. Those are some of the things that are beginning to really bubble up and be consistent. Brenda, do you have treasurer stuff for us?
I think I shared this last time, but no, sorry, it was at the board meeting, but I unmuted myself. I submitted our 2 taxes that we do not owe any taxes, so hooray. And I do not have our bottom balance, but it's been the same for a while now. I encourage you to donate so we can keep boosting our Facebook ads and our posts and see how else we can expand our work.
Great. Thank you, Brenda. Becca, do you have something from Harrison?
I do. So Harrison Gibson of Taste Project was not able to attend the meeting today, but he is our secretary, so I have his notes and reminders. The first reminder is that our next general council meeting will be August 5th from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. As of right now, that's still scheduled to be virtual, but I suppose there's always a possibility of changing that. So put that on your calendar, August 5th, which is a Thursday, to join us again for another general council meeting. Please do follow us on social media. Facebook and Instagram are where we are most active. We would love to have your input. We'll try to share some great articles and local things that are happening, as well as different events that we are hosting. You can get on our email list by going to our website, tarrantcountyfoodpolicycouncil.org, and get reminders about our meetings and anything else that we may have coming up. Another reminder that the meeting is being recorded today and will be posted to YouTube for anyone who missed it or wants to watch it again for some classic entertainment. And if you would like to become a member, you can also do that on our website. There is a membership form that you can fill out and email back to us, and we would love to have you as a member.
Thank you, Becca. Michelin, did you have anything today as past chair that you wanted to mention?
I do not, but thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Glad to have you with us. All right, we have as our speaker today, we have Kendra Richardson from Funkytown Fridge, and we're going to turn it over to you, Kendra, to tell us about yourself and what you're doing.
Okay, so my name is Kendra. I am the founder of Funkytown Fridge. And Funkytown Fridge is a community solidarity fridge, which means that we stand in solidarity with food apartheid neighborhoods in Forward, Texas, right? So it's open 24/7. It's accessible to anybody in the neighborhood who may, or technically, I guess not in the neighborhood, who may want or need food or just want like free groceries. And we have 3 in the city and are currently working on the 4th. That'll be opening this summer. And that's really kind of it. I didn't really have a presentation, but if y'all want to, I can show y'all like the PowerPoint that we use for our volunteers that just gives like basic information about like Funkytown Fridge and mutual aid and just like kind of how it works, right? Because like we're not a nonprofit and we're actually LLC now. Like we've actually announced it and made it official. And so we're navigating that space and then just trying to maneuver and figure out like how that works for us and how we can continue to build and make it sustainable, because we're not a year old yet, not even a year old yet. And that's pretty much it. So if y'all want to see the PowerPoint, I could show it to you. If
Yeah,
not,
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think we would love that.
okay, I'll show it to you. Hold on. One second, y'all. I just got this laptop. Oh, hold on. Let me change my system preferences. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
I didn't even know I had to do all of this. I thought I'd just share my screen.
Technology, it's a thing. I mean, it's like it's fantastic when it works right, and then it's a pain when it doesn't.
So it's telling me that I have to quit. Like I have to like log off and log back on.
Oh.
So
Well, is there, maybe you can just talk us through the presentation?
yeah, I'll talk
Share
to
the
you.
information with us?
Hold on. So it's just what is Funkytown Fridge? We're a grassroots collective dedicated to uplifting food apartheid neighborhoods and food swamp communities in the city of Fort Worth. So like a food swamp is neighborhoods like off of Berry in Forest Hill, where it's nothing but like McDonald's and Whataburger and Chicken Express and Chick-fil-A and Golden Chick and Sonic and Brahms and all that. That would be considered like a food swamp. And so they're all mostly placed in Black neighborhoods around the city, or Black and brown neighborhoods around the city. And those are the neighborhoods that we focus on. So we do this through mutual aid and education. Mutual aid is based off of love ethics, a sense of community. The mutual aid projects that people are forming are for a form of political participation in which people take responsibility for caring for one another and changing political conditions for the betterment of the communities that we serve. Then it goes into the Good Samaritan Law, which basically is a federal law that says as long as you're being a good citizen or helping somebody else, you can't necessarily get charged or sued for it. And so it says, when citizens volunteer their time and resources to help feed hungry people, they are rightly concerned that they are putting themselves at risk. Fortunately, the Bill Emerson's Good Samaritan Food Donation Act provides uniform protection to citizens, businesses, nonprofits that act in good faith to donate, recover, and distribute excess food. And then we have like our do's and don'ts, because this is for volunteers. So we tell them what to expect when they go to a fridge and like what to take out when they're there, which essentially the whole community does anyway. But we just make sure that we keep it in the PowerPoint to like make it clear. So we don't accept meat. We only accept fresh vegetables or dry goods, granola bars, fruit snacks. We encourage egg and milk alternatives. So we try to highly encourage that as much as we possibly can. We will accept commercially prepared foods. Like if you get a salad from Walmart and it like has the already cooked chicken in it, that's something that you can donate because it's properly labeled and packaged, right? So anything that's not properly labeled and packaged usually gets tossed, which is unfortunate. Because the whole point is to try to reduce food waste. And then we just have how volunteers can make a difference by coming and helping volunteer. And then it just kind of goes into questions that they may have. And that's it. So do y'all have questions for me?
I do. Kendra, where are they located at?
So they're on the south side, the east side, and the west side of Fort Worth. And like on our website is funkytownfridge.org. And they're all maps that'll lead you like straight to the fridge if you click on them. Yes, funkytownfridge.org.
So
Kendra-
sorry, I misspelled that. I'll fix it.
That's funny.
Technology was great when it worked.
There's some good typing skills. Kendra, I have a question. So
Yes,
if people want to
ma'am.
drop food off, they can just do it, or do you have a process where you want volunteers to like go through something first?
No, ma'am. It's open 24/7. And usually like we want community members to remain anonymous, right? Or as anonymous as they want to be, because like we're standing in solidarity with them, right? Like we don't necessarily even believe in charity work. We know that you're hungry, so come and get food to eat, right? And so usually when we see somebody there, like a usual shopper, the fridge friend or community member will like leave and let them get what they need, because usually that's what they want. And I think they like notice that, and so it makes them like come more, you know. So it's open 24/7. It's always accessible. And anytime, like say you cleaned out your pantry and you went through on the website and looked at all the accepted contributions, right? And then you had all those things in your pantry. You can take all those things from your pantry when you get time, when you're off, when you're done doing whatever, and you can go drop it off. And somebody can come up right behind you and take it.
Thank you.
Great.
Kendra, do you have a sense of how much use these the fridges have been getting?
Well, no, but it's quite a lot. Like somebody, I've been doing interviews all day. So I actually just finished one like at one of the fridges, and some people came and contributed like 4 things of like rice and some milk and stuff. And somebody came right behind them and took it. So it's constantly going. As long as it's open, it's always somebody there contributing or taking away.
Kendra, I'm so glad you're able to join us today. I've donated to the on Vaughn Boulevard, the United Fort Worth. That's my go-to fridge. Oh, okay. So What is, especially now that we're entering summer, what are the high priority items that you would like to see donated, and where can, as volunteers, make their most impact as far as mutual aid and food donations?
So I haven't really figured out some yet, to be real with y'all. It's looking like, especially like after all this rain, I know it's probably gonna be like extra hot. So it's looking like we may have to take the fridges out until the end of the summer, but we're not sure yet. We're just like working through it. And then in that case, we'll only accept like non-perishables, right? Like we'll only accept canned goods and I don't know, box macaroni and stuff like that. And so it'll still be there. You just won't have access to the fresh produce and the fresh fruits as much as you would. As far as volunteers and their impact with mutual aid, take care of your neighbor and love on them. As far as that, because that's essentially what mutual aid is. Like, we as a Black culture have been doing this forever. We've always been raised by a village. We've always taken care of each other. Like, my grandmother still feeds anybody that walks in the house, and there's always a hot meal on the stove. So that's just how I was raised. So take care of your neighbor and love them, because I'd rather, the two most important things that I require for volunteers is to be politically educated first, and then also really they go hand in hand, and then having the heart to serve, right? Like, you have the heart to want to see these people live a better life, and we can be the first step to making that happen. That makes sense? Yeah, so that's kind of
Alexandra?
Yes, yet also thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
And I'm perusing the website now, and in case any of our current audience or future audience is wondering, how can I help if I don't live in Fort Worth, or if I can't get to these refrigerators? There are links, y'all. There's also merch, which I might have to rock some Funky Town fridge attire. But yes, I saw there are some donation links. There's a Patreon. So there's lots of ways that folks can support, which is awesome.
Yes. So because we're not a nonprofit, we have to get extra creative with the ways that we come up with making money that's also filled with integrity, right? Because at the same time, first, we have to protect these communities that we're serving in. And so, yes, we have a Patreon. We're about to start a YouTube channel. We sell merch for that reason. I'm literally about to start folding right now. Yeah, I think that was it. I was about to say something else, but it's gone. It's fine. But
well, I did also see, so there's an Amazon link, and not only are there things that you all could use, but I saw that there was some of that political education that you were just talking about for people who do want to learn more and be better involved in their community. So thanks for that.
For sure. Yeah. And we're also we keep resources on our pages. We try to offer as many free resources as possible. So like on all our social pages, we keep resources there. And we're actually working on a virtual community library, because this summer we plan on starting a book club. And just like a community book club with the city of Fort Worth for anybody who may want to join. So we're actually building that now to kind of upgrade our website and then add more of those free resources as much as possible, because we are LLC, but we act as a nonprofit. So everything we give away is totally free to the community. And the more we build, the more free things we can give, which is why we have so many links for donations.
Becca, did you have a question?
Yes, I think I know the answer, but how do y'all feel about if somebody wanted to donate any extra garden produce that they had? Could they bring that on by?
Yes, but it has to be labeled. So like in our FAQs on our website, there's specific instructions for labeling. But if somebody brings something from like Home Gardens, which they usually do a lot, we ask that they label it in like a Ziploc bag and just say like kale 5/6/2021 with the date and the time that they put it in the fridge.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
So you're going into summer and you might have to take the fridges out, but there's a lot of produce that comes out during the summer that'd be great to go from the gardens into the Funky Town space without a fridge, like cantaloupes, watermelons, squash, because y'all all got extra squash.
Yeah, so like, and we'll probably do like a list of those things that they can put in the pantry. And especially in the summer, like we'll all really kind of have, like I was a teacher and a lot of our volunteers are students. So we all have more time to be at the fridges more and just kind of like sit there and not really monitor, but make sure that all the food that is being put in there is is edible. But yes, definitely things like, watermelons, I don't know, peaches, all those kind of things. Those can be done in.
That's great.
Kendrick, can I ask, how were you able to forge some of the partnerships with the locations like the United Fort Worth Center to host the fridges?
They reach out so far, but we also have like a link for any small business like around the city that would like. Now we have like a wait list, and we just send host links for them to apply, because we also want to make sure they're aligned with like our politics, right? And want to make sure that they're really trying to help these people or feed these people, and don't have a problem with people sometimes coming and sitting there and maybe having their banana or something, because these people are also houseless. So we make sure that all those things align first. So with our first 3 hosts, they reached out to us. Actually, all of them have reached out to us. But now, usually when somebody reaches out or they send us a DM, we'll just send them a link to apply to be a host.
Are there requirements to be a host?
Yes. Yeah, there are. Like, you have to be in a food apartheid neighborhood. You have to, I wouldn't really necessarily call them requirements, because honestly, all of this stuff, I just wing by how I feel. And if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't sit right with my soul, I just won't do it.
That's awesome. So basically, you've got to be able to provide a place for the refrigerator to be.
Yeah, so
and
that's
be
what a
willing
host
to
is.
have it, operate, people coming in and out from that space. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what a host is. They're just like a person with a building that's willing to help host a fridge outside, and then doesn't mind people coming in back and forth. And so like the greenhouse 817 is a cool spot, because one, she's rarely ever there at like a unsafe time, and then it's right there on the side, so there's really no need for them to come to the front of the, like sometimes they come in, like if they see us or they see our cars, they'll come in like wave or come say hi, come talk or chill or whatever. But usually for the most part, they just come by the fridge and then they go, and then they can just drive up. The fridge is right there at the corner. They can just drive up and get what they need and go.
That's great. So you go around and check on the fridges or drop things,
every day.
stock the fridge every day?
Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am, I do. But we're creating healthy boundaries. So
good.
but I mean, it's still new and it's still fresh. So I make sure I check on it all the time. But yeah, every day. And when I was in school, I would just go after school and just do like a round checkup, because they're all, I grew up here, so I know where everything is, and they're all at least 5 or 10 minutes away. So it's nothing to like go to one and then drive down Berry and be back on Vaughn and then get back on the freeway and go to Como.
Kendra, I have a question. We had done some food recovery with Einstein's Bagels. Whatever they don't sell that day, they donate. But it's in a big grocery bag. So would you be interested in that, but just like partitioning it out in Ziploc bags, or would that be something that you wouldn't want to take?
Like, would I be willing to put them in the bags and then?
No, like volunteers, but I'm asking,
yeah.
would something like that be okay? Okay.
Yeah, they would just need to be labeled. So like if they give you a big trash bag full of bagels, I would say like put them in smaller Ziploc bags and just say blueberry bagel 6/3/21, like the day you're putting it in. But yeah, we've tried to, and now that I'm out of school for the summer, I have more time to like really expand on most of the things that I've been wanting to do. And so food recovery is one of those things. So I would like to know more about that and how y'all do that. Because we're definitely gonna work on like a food recovery team or something.
I'll send you an email for our next meeting, okay?
Yes, ma'am, please. And I'll put our email in here. And everything is Funky Town Fridge, y'all. Make it easy and persistent for y'all.
Sure, Becca spells that right though.
Right? I know, you gotta watch out for me. I am so sorry, y'all.
That's
Whew.
There you go.
I have another question for you, Kendra. And I think you spoke a little bit to it, but I'm curious as to how the project got started. Like what was, I mean, it's maybe something that's been on your mind for a long time, but what made it actually start and how'd y'all start the first fridge?
I was just born a revolutionary. I was taught. And then one day the fridges came along and I planted them. And then I planted 2 more. And so I want to see my people thrive. I'm tired of seeing them suffer. And that was just what it was. And so when a solution came about, because I'm a solution-oriented person, and I was feeling like, especially during the George Floyd uprising, it was just, I felt like I hadn't done anything. Now, mind you, I've been doing this work my whole life, but it was just like, if something had been done, then why are we still like continuing on this cycle, right? And so like, what kind of solutions can we come up with? And that popped up on my feed one time. And then from there, it was a go. That's really it. Yeah. And it was a great way. Like I said, I grew up watching my grandmother's feed everybody. And so food has always been a way, especially culturally, to bring people together and create community first, right? Like, and I can't ask anything of you if you're hungry. And so let me at least provide you with what you need to live your own sustainable life. And then to also break down capitalism and individualism, right? And to help us all create, I guess, better personal boundaries for ourselves and better lives for ourselves and our families. So that's really kind of it.
Kendra, what's your big vision? What do you hope Funky Town Fridge inspires? What are the kind of things, not just beyond the sharing of food, what do you hope it inspires in others?
Revolution, change, everything. And community, and continuously building that. I want a better world so I can have children. That's it. I want a better world because I have nieces and nephews and I have little Black kids I want to see grow up and thrive. And so in my mind, especially as an educator, the only way to do that is to educate those that are willing to take this journey with us, and then helping them and teaching them along the way so that they can build their own and become greater than me and do something bigger than what people think these fridges are. Yeah, that's about it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I have a question, Kendra.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for joining us. I'm so like, my mind is right now. So this is great, but I know you said that the fridges are pretty busy, but what do you find, like, is it word of mouth that people are finding out about the fridges? How do you think people are learning about getting
I
food?
would say word of mouth, but honestly, I truly do not know. I planned this opening party and the news was there, the radio was there. It was like all these different blogs there. It was crazy. And so from there, it just kind of grew legs. Like today I had an interview with another news station. And so from there, I would say word of mouth. And like, once you tell your granny and your church members, that's it. So I told my granny first. I had her pray over just like the vision and what I wanted to do. And I told my church, and from there, everybody just they literally just showed up. And I did not expect that at all. I just wanted to open the fridge. And I wanted people to know because I wanted people to contribute, right? Like we have the party so people can contribute. And so everywhere I would go, I'd be like, you know what a community fridge is? Let me tell you. And that was about it. But yeah, I would say word of mouth. And then after that one party, I've been going nonstop literally for the past 9 months. Like, I'm gonna have to take a week or so off for myself sometime next week, but literally the past 9 months. So yeah, it's going
Catherine?
everywhere. I think Kurt Franklin came, and then like during the winter storm, Jennifer Aniston posted us. So yeah, it's getting pretty out there.
Yes, I saw Jennifer Aniston post you guys, but I was an avid follower before that, but I was like, good for celebrity shout out.
Right.
No, I think your movement is wonderful. It's like grassroots at the best form and and the best intentions of what it can be. When you're looking for locations, aside from looking what might be an appropriate place that meets your mission, are you also waiting for fridges to be donated, or are you purchasing the fridges?
No, we have I think 6 fridges just sitting in a garage right now that we've basically taken over one of our volunteers' garage and just filled it with fridges. So we've stopped accepting them for a while. With summer coming up, we are contemplating the transition to industrial fridges to see if that works or how that will work. We're keeping food cold. This is all experimental. This is all just me just waking up and saying, "Ooh, let's do this today." So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfect.
But we do we also have on the website a fridge application. So if somebody wants to donate it, and then we just keep it on a wait list. But we are trying to transition to industrial fridges. We have one now that we're going to do for the fridge we're putting out this summer, and then just kind of see how it works for us. And I think what I'm probably going to end up doing with the other fridges is just kind of dispersing them to other people that want to start fridges, and just keep accepting them and letting the people have them. Because a lot of college students have reached out from my my alma mater. I think some UNT students have reached out, some students from Odessa somewhere have reached. It's been a lot of college students wanting to start fridges. And so I would like to be the person to just kind of give them their head start and give them what they need and kind of help them along the way as I can. As I learn, just kind of teach them and help them learn.
That's wonderful. Kendra, thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for having me.
I'm going to hopefully speak for everybody to a certain extent to express our thanks, and for the time and the energy that you're putting into this. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm doing my best, y'all.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do. And do take some time off.
Yeah, I am.
It's that positive boundaries. Just take your time.
Thank you. I am. I literally, I was in a car wreck last week. My best friend just got married Monday, and then it was my grandmother's. This has been a crazy week. So I think I am gonna have to do that in a little bit after I get through this week. But I thank y'all for having me.
Thank you. Look forward to hearing more good things.
Thank you. We're gonna do our best and just keep building from here.
Wonderful. All right, you all, we have some working group updates. Let's start with the community gardens and urban ag working group. Dave.
Hello, everybody. So we had a packed meeting. I had 6 pages of notes, but I'm not going to read you 6 pages of notes. So don't fear. But we had some guests. We had Good Shepherd United Methodist over in Arlington. They've had a community garden and they're looking to expand it. And they were looking for help reaching out to their neighbors who they think might need a place to grow veggies. And they also wanted to ask advice about the kind of materials to use to build beds, because the ones they used initially are breaking down and not going so great. So We met them and I put them in touch with Becca because her team is the perfect place for them to start to answer all those questions. So we'll see where that goes. Mary Jo Green is a fairly new member of our group. She is a school garden educator. She has tremendous energy and enthusiasm and ideas, and I'm just very grateful that she's with us. But she's leading a subcommittee to work on school gardens in Fort Worth. And so she did two things for this meeting. She shared about her work at University Christian. They have a preschool garden, and she's the gardener for that, and also for Fort Worth Montessori. So she talked about how she promotes those gardens, what the kids do, how they work in curriculum, all that kind of stuff. And then she and other members of her subcommittee are surveying all the school gardens in Fort Worth. And, you know, we had a project, we're going to try and locate all the school gardens in DFW and who the contacts are and all this stuff. And it just got too big. So Mary Jo wisely said, let's just focus on Fort Worth. We'll start here because we're here, and sent out a survey and is getting some good info about who is out there, what gardens are active, and what they need, what kind of challenges they're facing. So Becca's going to share about Dig Deep, so I won't say too much about it, but one idea we had is to have a roundtable at Dig Deep where school gardeners of all kinds can come together and learn from each other. Maybe identify what some of the challenges are and we can work on fixing them. So that's going to be TBA. Very excited about that project. And then we had updates on a bunch of stuff. So Grow Southeast, a bunch of you probably know about, farmers on the southeast side of Fort Worth growing for their communities. And new members, Alethea Temple is starting their own farm. They're near Greater Mount Tabor, and very appropriate for the anniversary we just passed. They're calling it the New Black Wall Street Farm. So that's very exciting. Jovita's Kitchen wants to engage with the group. Greater Mount Tabor is moving ahead. Next steps for them are irrigation and parking lot. And Jesse pointed out, you know, there's a challenge when you're looking for grants for farms like this, because a lot of the grants have to do with education. Education is great. We all do that. We think it's important, but it's not the only thing that these farms need. They need infrastructure. They need money to pay for the irrigation and the parking lot and all that kind of thing. So Jesse was curious, and maybe this is a TCFPC board question, how can we get this info to funders to let them know that we need other things funded besides just education if you want to have thriving urban agriculture in Fort Worth and elsewhere? Like I said, there's a lot that came up in this meeting. And there's really cool news about a new program at Opal's Farm. And Charlie, would you share about that, the new farmer training program?
So we have worked on a grant and are starting a program to get new farmers from the southeast side to learn at Opal's Farm. We're designating a third acre for them to work on. It'll be a training program for using the system that we use to farm there, and their final exam is fully operating a third acre farm, a third acre on Opal's Farm on the banks of the Trinity.
You said you had a Ugandan family was your first?
They're the first ones there. Sylvia and all of her friends, they are delightful, and they just wanted to do it because they didn't have any room to do it, and it reminded them of home. So it was pretty cool to see them get started and to see the difference between the way they farm and garden in Uganda versus the way we do it here. There's very, very cool. Lots of fun cultural exchange.
That's awesome. Thank you, Charlie. And just really, for everybody who's followed the journey of Opal's Farm, this is Ms. Opal's vision coming to life. You know, she really wanted people to be able to learn how to farm, to make a living for themselves, to provide for their communities, and it's happening. And, you know, Charlie has played a big role in that. He's the consulting farmer for all these projects. So Charlie, thank you for all your work and all the time.
You're welcome. So Opal's Farm is a sub-project. Her main project is getting us a national holiday for Juneteenth, which is coming up. So look for all the activities and things around that you can join to support that.
Excellent, excellent. Let's see, and then we had also an update from the TAFB Garden Network. Head Start is installing a bunch of new gardens, including one at Brewer Middle School. That's an accessible high raised bed. That's pretty cool. Southside, you may know that they are helping people put gardens in their backyards, and so they can grow produce for themselves. And now they're actually working on a community garden as well. They have a lot that they're going to be doing that on. And I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm going to turn it over to Becca to talk about Dig Deep. So our next meeting, and I'll put this in the chat, but just so I say it out loud, is Thursday, July 1st at 3 p.m. Via Zoom. And we're having it then so that hopefully if there are things that need to be talked about or volunteered for to do for Dig Deep, we can help with that. So Becca, would you be willing to share about Dig Deep?
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. So I believe I've spoken about Dig Deep before, but Dig Deep is our annual gardening conference, usually co-sponsored by Tarrant County Food Policy Council and Tarrant Area Food Bank and whoever our lovely host site is for the year. This year we will be in person at BRIT, the Botanical Research Institute of Texas, which is right next to the Botanic Garden in Fort Worth. So we are currently gathering presenters and speakers who would like to teach at this conference. And it sounds daunting, but I guarantee that probably everybody in this room would be able to do it and do it well and speak on something. So we have had sessions in the past on home gardening, community gardening, and market gardening. So a variety of different audiences, and also speaking to not only technical gardening and growing skills, but also things like food justice, social justice. Dave's doing a great presentation on spirituality in agriculture. So even things beyond just how to grow things, organizing your community, or even, we'll do a lot of talk about composting, I'm sure, but I may have roped Harrison into doing something on kind of food recovery, keeping things out of the landfill. So we're still looking for presenters. I will put that link into the chat first on where you can find information about the event. And if you're wanting to apply to be a presenter, there's still time to do that. And I've probably bothered several of you about that already. And I will probably bother you again. But that's kind of the first step that we've been working on, is getting that agenda set. I will have accommodations for anybody who would not like to attend in person to be able to present virtually, and we'll figure out the logistics of that, whether it needs to be recorded or if it can be done live, depending on what Britt has set up, which I will find out next week. So that first link that I put in the chat there is kind of general information and that presenter application. And if you know of anybody else who you think would be a great presenter, the biggest help that y'all can give to me right now would be promoting this event, whether it's to promote to potential presenters or those attending, because we want to reach as many people as possible. And I know that my network is not complete. So if y'all can send out to your network as well, at least for the board and working group leaders, I will send out even a template email that you can send out with a nice little flyer and links to it. So I'll even make it easy on you. The other thing that I will share with you today is that I did just get the registration page set up. So it is a ticketed event. It does cost $20. That will help pay for our lunch. However, we do have scholarship options available. And if you are a presenter, you will get in for free. So maybe that's your motivation for presenting at Dig Deep. But the event is live, so please share that. I'm sure we'll have it on social media, and I will send out that template email as well. So we'll get that information pushed out, and I already have a good group of folks from CGUA who are helping me in various ways. Any questions about Dig Deep?
Where are you going to get the produce for lunch?
So lunch, excellent question. So in the past, if y'all have attended before, you have remembered John Croatti's fantastic lunches that he has prepared for us. He was not available this year. However, Robin is our new production chef here at Tarrant Food Bank and works in our mission kitchen. So she will be helping to prepare the lunch with produce from some of our local farmers, potentially those that you see here on your screen. And from the Tarrant Food Bank Learning Garden and Kitchen Garden. And we may even have some local meat as well. So stay tuned for a delicious lunch as always. So if nothing else, you're going to get a great lunch, but I promise you it'll be way more fun than just lunch.
That's great. And that's Saturday, July 17th, right?
Yep, I should have said that.
Okay.
Saturday, July 17th. It'll be 8 to 4. And if you're presenting and you have other things that go on Saturdays, like farmers markets or garden work days, we can always fit you in the afternoon. And it'll be a fantastic time. It always is.
Very good. So lots going on for CGUA, for the Community Garden and Urban Agriculture Working Group. Okay, next up we have Children's Health Working Group.
And that would be me. I'm Alexandra Thurston. I am one of the co-chairs of the Children's Health Working Group. I also work for the City of Fort Worth Neighborhood Services Department in the Community Action Partners Work Group, which is the community action agency for Tarrant County. So the Children's Health Working Group last met on April 21st, and we were joined by Andy Kraus and Sean McIntosh of Sugar Free Kids Maryland. They have successfully passed bills regarding children's menus in Baltimore and Prince George's County. So, you know, they have lots of experience and knowledge in regard to not just, you know, addressing restaurants' approaches to their children's menus, but also the policy aspect of it. Their intention in joining us was really to kind of hear what conversation we were already having, and then, you know, just provide a little bit of feedback as, you know, if they felt the urge to do so. Luckily they did, so they provided quite a bit of insight, and they also, fortunately, Catherine, who is here today, also happens to be on our communications committee. So that was a useful connection on that front as well. Where we are in our project, which for those of you who may be new to the conversation, is working toward policy that would de-emphasize sugary beverages on children's menus. We're mostly in the strategizing phase because, as you may know, we are in the midst of local elections. So there's a lot of wait and see as far as that goes. So we can plan, but there's a lot that we cannot factor in until we know who we'll be talking to. Also, for those of you who may be interested, I will give you information on how you can do that momentarily, but something to keep in mind is that as we are going into summer with the summer food service program, which many of the participants in the Children's Health Working Group are very active in, that means that sometimes we have challenges in our working group participation during the summer months. So if you happen to be a person who is interested in children's health, particularly through a food lens, and has summer availability, check us out. We meet every even month on third Tuesdays at 10:30. So our next meeting will be June 16th at 10:30 a.m. via Microsoft Teams. And I will put my contact information in the chat and you can let me know if you're interested. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra. Food Recovery Working Group.
Hello, I'm Gina Hill. I'm the co-lead of the Food Recovery Working Group. And just to give you all an update, our last meeting was just in May, and I don't remember the date off the top of my head. Our next meeting, just before I forget to announce that, is July 14th from 12:30 to 1:30. So we meet the second Wednesday of each month from 12:30 to 1:30. And so right now we kind of had a restart, so to speak, of our group and kind of getting our group members back together and involved. But basically we have 3 areas that we're working on over the next few months as goals. We're coming up with a list of resources for restaurants and other food-related management people who want to start a food recovery program. We're also going to work with the communications team and have some information specifically updated for our website, and also have some information about almost like a speakers bureau, anything related to food waste, so that if there are presentations that are needed in the community with schools or garden groups or other kind of things, restaurants, whatever, where we could people could go to find reliable sources of information, speakers if they're interested. We're kind of like the Tarrant County Master Gardeners Association does this. We thought it might be a good fit for the community. We also are starting a Facebook group for volunteers and food recovery groups to try to trade information. So that way it's a lot more live and timely. And that way, if someone has a donation to make, it can be, found quickly, instead of trying to jump through a lot of phone calls and things like that to get it to a place that it needs to be. So those are our goals right now. We're also trying to get back into the school system, working on the composting with the schools and the recycling programs that we started a couple of years ago that we haven't been able to do since COVID began, and that looks like it's going to be a possibility again. It seems that there's potential to get back into the schools this fall, so that's really good news for us. That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gina. You guys are doing some fantastic work in the working groups. I've said this before, but I still think it's fantastic. Other things that we want to share that are going on, including those that are attendees. Alexandra.
Yes. when you can't click the mouse fast enough, a manual hand raise will have to do.
That's right.
So, and it just was an organic segue, because as you mentioned, Miss Opal Lee and her, larger goal of having Juneteenth recognized on a national scale. And Kendra also talked about the cultural and historic tie-ins when it comes to food. We happen to be in June. Juneteenth is around the corner, and the city does have some core events, but also on the page that I will be linking in the chat, there are multiple events throughout the city that community members can engage in. The theme for the kind of primary event is Black restaurants that fed the civil rights movement, and it's a historical presentation and discussion. So it also ties in the Green Book Guide to Freedom. And so just talking about how during the civil rights movement, some of these, Black restaurants were just so significant in how people, traveled and spread the word for some of the different things in a grassroots way, not entirely unlike what Funky Town Fridge is doing. So if anyone is interested, I did drop that link in the chat.
Fantastic. Thank you. Other things that we want to share going on? All right.
As we are the Food Policy Council, it might be worth noting that Tarrant County runoff elections are this Saturday, June 5th. You can visit Tarrant County election website, I guess, for more information on local elections, but something to keep in mind.
Thank you for saying that, Sarah. I was thinking that earlier, that we need to say, go vote if you're in Fort Worth. Go vote. I don't have anything else. Anybody? Last call. Do one more call. All right. Great timing, you all. I want to give another thanks to Kendra with Funky Town Fridge for being with us today and inspiring and projecting that vision out into the world. And thanks to everyone else who joined us, either as we were meeting or if you're watching the recording of the meeting, we appreciate that. Our next council meeting, general council meeting is August the 5th at 4 p.m. So we will be back then. If there's not anything else, we will sign off and see you next time.